Gluteus maximus muscle that is cut in the middle, and the muscle which is lifted is gluteus maximus muscle. Then we have that is you are seeing the structures there. That is the inferior gluteal nerve that is supplying gluteus maximus, and that is the piriformis muscle. That is pudendal nerve. Then internal pudendal vessels, and that is now to obturator internus. These are called pin structures. Pudendal nerve. So that is the gluteus maximus, and that is inferior gluteal nerve supplying, and that is superior gluteal nerve that supplies medius and minimus. And these are all structures below the gluteus maximus. That is superior gluteal nerve, that is inferior gluteal nerve, that is pudendal nerve, internal pudendal vessels. Then now to obturator internus, they are called pin structures, and that is the sciatic nerve which you are seeing. That is the inferior gluteal nerve, then the superior gluteal nerve, then pudendal nerve, internal pudendal vessels, then now to obturator internus, called pin structures, and that is the sciatic nerve. Gluteus maximus muscle is lifted, and that is piriformis muscle. That is the inferior gluteal nerve supplying to gluteus maximus muscle. So that is the inferior gluteal nerve supplying to gluteus maximus muscle. The muscle is held lifted upwards. That is the sciatic nerve. Sciatic nerve. So that is now you can see the gluteus maximus muscle is lifted, and that muscle is sciatic piriformis muscle, and that is now to gluteus maximus, inferior gluteal nerve, and what you are seeing is the sciatic nerve. Of gluteal region. So in this we will be discussing the important nerves and vessels of the gluteal region. So the nerve of the gluteal region is sciatic nerve. It is the largest branch of lumbosacral plexus. It is composed of dorsal and ventral divisions of the ventral rami of L4 to S3 spinal nerves. That is, it is composed of ventral and dorsal divisions of ventral rami of L4 to S3 spinal nerves. It is the widest nerve of the body. It has two components. One component is tibial component, and the other component is common peroneal component. But it arises as a common trunk from the lumbosacral plexus. It arises as a common trunk from the lumbosacral plexus. Then coming to tibial component. It arises from ventral branches of ventral rami of L4 to S3. So we will see what is ventral branches of ventral rami. So spinal cord, as you can see in the picture, gives spinal nerve, and the spinal nerve gives two rami. So one is the dorsal rami that supplies the posterior wall near the vertebral column, and the ventral rami that supplies not only the anterolateral wall of the body but also supplies the limbs. So this again divides into dorsal and ventral rami. Now we go to see what is common peroneal. The common peroneal arises from dorsal branches, whereas we have seen tibial arises from ventral. So that difference we should note. Then here you can see in the picture that I have shown the pelvis. It has one inlet, then outlet. So that is called the pelvic cavity. And you can see there is one diaphragm separating it into two parts, upper part and lower part. So pelvic cavity has two parts, one above the pelvic diaphragm and one below the pelvic outlet. So this lower part is called as perineum. And there are certain nerves which go out through the pelvic, that is above the pelvic diaphragm, emerge out through greater sciatic foramen, and out of these some will return again into the perineum, that is below the pelvic diaphragm, through the lesser sciatic notch. That we have to understand. So in this again you can see the picture. We can see that there is one greater sciatic foramen and there is one lesser sciatic foramen. And the greater sciatic foramen is divided into two parts, that is by piriformis muscle. So piriformis muscle crosses across the greater sciatic foramen, dividing into two parts, that is above the piriformis muscle and below the piriformis muscle. And you can see the lesser sciatic foramen, that is another foramina where some of the nerves which emerge through the greater sciatic foramina return back into the pelvis, that is through lesser sciatic foramina, to supply the perineum. Then we come to sciatic nerve. It enters the gluteal region. So we were discussing that it enters the gluteal region from the pelvic cavity by passing through greater sciatic foramina. You should understand that this is coming under the piriformis muscle. So it is below the piriformis muscle. It is emerging out to appear in the gluteal region. Then it descends deep to one muscle, that is gluteus maximus muscle. And as it passes, we can see that it is between ischial tuberosity and greater trochanter femur. So it is midway. It is midway between ischial tuberosity and greater trochanter of the femur to reach the back of the thigh. And just behind the knee, there is one fossa that is called as popliteal fossa. And this nerve at the superior angle of popliteal fossa terminates into tibial and common peroneal components. Then we come to relations. Relations can be divided into superficial and deep. So the superficial relations of the sciatic nerve are from above downwards, as we have seen in the video, that is, one is the gluteus maximus and the other one is long head of triceps. So these are superficial relations. One is gluteus maximus and below it is by long head of triceps. Then we come to deep relations. There are many deep relations to the sciatic nerve, and the relations above downwards are: first it is the posterior surface of ischium. Then we have nerve to quadratus femoris. Then we have obturator internus muscle tendon, followed by above and below by gemelli muscles, that is inferior and superior gemelli. And below that we have quadratus femoris. There is obturator externus. Then there is also hip joint related to it, and further down it is deep to adductor magnus. So these are the deep relations of the sciatic nerve. Then coming to branches, the first branch we have mentioned is to hip joint. Then it has muscular branches. The muscle biceps femoris, which has two heads. Long head is supplied by tibial division of sciatic nerve, whereas the short head, it is supplied by common peroneal division of sciatic nerve. Then the branches are given to semitendinosus, then semimembranosus, then also the ischial fibers of adductor magnus, and terminally divides into two, that is common peroneal, also called as fibular, and the tibial nerves. Then blood supply. The sciatic nerve also receives blood supply, that is a branch called arteria commitans nervi ischiadici. It is a branch of inferior gluteal artery. Apart from that, it will be receiving branches from perforating arteries. Then we go to study superior gluteal nerve. So in this picture, as we have already seen, we have seen that there is one greater sciatic foramina, and that is divided into two by the piriformis muscle. So some will be emerging out above the piriformis muscle, that is the superior gluteal nerve. And the one which is emerging out below the piriformis muscle are, you can see, the inferior gluteal nerve and the sciatic nerve. So this superior gluteal nerve is formed by posterior divisions of L4 and L5 and anterior division of S1. So you can see that it is formed by posterior divisions of L4 and L5 and anterior division of S1. It passes out from the pelvic cavity through the sciatic notch or sciatic foramina above the piriformis muscle. Then it turns superiorly and passes between the piriformis muscle we have already seen and the gluteus medius muscle. So it is between these two muscles, piriformis and superior and gluteus medius muscle. It lies deep to gluteus maximus muscle, that we have seen in the video. Then coming to branches, it has one upper branch that gives nerve supply to gluteus medius, and it has one larger branch, that is inferior branch, that innervates both the muscles, that is gluteus medius and minimus muscles. And it is also giving nerve supply to the tensor fasciae lata muscle. Further, it innervates the femoral neck, and this superior gluteal nerve is having no sensory fibers. Then we go to inferior gluteal nerve. Coming to inferior gluteal nerve, it arises from L5, S1 and S2 dorsal divisions only. L5, S1 and S2 dorsal divisions. It leaves the pelvis through sciatic notch or sciatic foramina below the piriformis and bends retrograde, that is, it goes upwards over the piriformis muscle but under the gluteus maximus. It divides into upward and downward branches. It supplies motor innervation to the gluteus maximus muscle only. It supplies motor innervation to the gluteus maximus muscle only. Then arteries of the gluteal region. The gluteal arteries arise from internal iliac artery. They are the superior and inferior gluteal arteries. The superior and inferior gluteal arteries exit through the suprapiriformic and infrapiriformic compartments of greater sciatic foramina respectively. Then we go to superior gluteal artery. Superior gluteal artery, it arises from posterior division of internal iliac artery. It enters gluteal region with superior gluteal nerve. It divides into superficial and deep branches. Superficial division passes between gluteus medius and piriformis, and and supplies gluteus maximus. Superior division passes between gluteus medius and piriformis and supplies gluteus maximus. The deep branch divides, runs with the branches of superior gluteal nerve and supplies medius, minimus, hip joint and tensor fasciae latae. And it ends by anastomosing with ascending branch of lateral circumflex femoral, and together they give branches to the neck of the femur and greater trochanter of the femur. Then we come to anastomosis of the superior gluteal artery. There is one anastomosis that is at the level of anterior superior iliac spine. Here it anastomoses with deep circumflex iliac and ascending branch of lateral circumflex artery. Both these are branches of femoral artery. That is, they are from external iliac artery. So internal iliac artery and external iliac artery are forming one anastomosis at the anterior superior iliac spine. Then we go to one more anastomosis, that is called trochanteric anastomosis. This anastomosis occurs in trochanteric fossa. Here the superior gluteal artery anastomoses with branches of, you can see in the picture, superior gluteal artery is anastomosing with inferior gluteal and also ascending branches of medial and lateral circumflex femoral arteries. So this is occurring at the trochanteric level, at trochanteric fossa. Then inferior gluteal artery. It is a branch of internal iliac artery again, and it sends a large branch to gluteus maximus, then gives cutaneous branch to buttock, back of thigh, and it gives one branch to sciatic nerve and anastomoses with circumflex femoral arteries. Then there is one more anastomosis that is called as cruciate anastomosis. This cruciate anastomosis occurs at the level of lesser trochanter with the following arteries. Above is inferior gluteal artery. Then transverse. On either side we have transverse branch of lateral circumflex femoral artery. Then we have transverse branch of medial circumflex femoral artery. And finally, from below, that is ascending branch of first perforating arteries of profunda femoris. In the picture you can see the cruciate anastomosis, that is level of lesser trochanter. Above is by inferior gluteal artery, below is by first perforating artery of the profunda femoris, and from the sides on either side, that is lateral circumflex transverse and medial circumflex transverse. Thus, internal iliac and external iliac arteries communicate through three anastomoses discussed above, and they provide collateral circulation. Thank you.